All right, folks. We got Dixie Doggers here. We are in North Carolina this time. For the first time. Never been here. Never done some of the things that we've done while we're here. And it has been amazing. Got my buddy here. Been here. I met him in Louisiana. Met him in Louisiana. He was with Carter from Boars and Broads. Yeah, I can't say Boars and Horse. Boars and Broads. And kind of hit it off good. Wound up making some arrangements and stuff. We'll come up to hunt with him. And so here we are.
Yeah, you got to make sure you wish Joey happy birthday.
Yeah, it's a little bit late now, but nobody really cares.
It's his 30th. Don't listen to the man.
Yeah, exactly. If you hear all this weird noise, it's Rodney over there swallowing his mouth or brushing his damn teeth or something. I don't know what he's doing, honestly.
I told him I wasn't doing an interview that white noise, so that's what Rodney's here for.
That's right. So it looks like one of them weird science teachers. So, all right. So I'm going to introduce yourself, Jacob.
I'm Jacob, North Carolina. Bear hunt, hog hunt, love dogging, and I'm just happy to be here, honestly. I'm happy to be here with these boys. Learned a lot from him in one conversation, and we put it together in Louisiana that he would come up during a bear hunt. A lot of these boys around here, they've done a lot of hog dogging, but ain't been up here in the mountains bear hunting. A lot of places you can't bear hunt,
Yeah.
And North Carolina's a good indicator, and Georgia's an even better indicator. You can't run bear in northern Georgia. I mean, they got a couple quota hunts, but you can run them in southern Georgia.
That's just really weird.
And that's they made that. I guess it's been years ago when they made that rule.
So southern Georgia. Okay, where's the definitive line where southern and Georgia is compared to northern Georgia? Like say, where can you hunt and where can you not hunt? A city or something that people would know.
For me, I don't really know a definitive line. I know down on the Florida-Georgia line really is where I know a lot of bear hunters are, and that's where a lot of big bear come from.
Now that's kind of more agriculture, correct?
Yeah,
more flat country.
Agriculture and swamps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's totally different than the terrain here. You would think, because predominantly most bear hunting that I've known has been in the hills and mountains.
Well, see, that's a common misconception. Here we have bear. We have decent sized bear. You kill a 400-pounder here, though, you're doing good. You go out to the coast of North Carolina, you're looking at 600 to 700-pound bear.
Exactly.
And that's coastal areas. I know people catch them on the ocean. On the shore of the ocean. There's big bear.
That's pretty cool.
Out in that country in eastern North Carolina. We got runners here. They got them fat boys that just like to walk around down there.
Well, we've got some people that we know, and one of our friends, he killed a bear. And I don't remember what the bear, what was it, 576 or 646? It was huge. And it was, it's around the 600-pound mark. It's a Boone and Crockett.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And that's what, it didn't tree. They wound up getting it on the ground. But I thought that, I was like, well, he's going to be in the mountains and all that. No, like you said, he was out on the coast out in Carolina.
I want to say that this year they did break a record within 2 hours here in the mountains. I think it was 692 pounds.
Good.
And that's unheard of. You don't find.
Well, I think I seen that bear.
Or something about it. It was flowing around Facebook.
Yeah, I was going to say it was around Facebook. When was it? Was it the first part of the year?
Yeah, it was the first season. So October 10th, I want to say. Don't quote me on this, but I want to say it's October 10th to November 17th.
Okay,
it's like a month long. It's like this next season. We got it split into two
I knew
seasons.
It wasn't that long ago, but I remember seeing it now because that's the first thing I said. I said, well, Tim, he killed a huge bear, like I said, at the 600-pound mark or something like that. And I was like, and then you see something like that, I was like, it just puts into perspective, like you said, the difference in it. Because what do you think what would be probably the average bear here? What, a couple 100 pounds maybe?
Your average is you're looking at 150 to 250. And in North Carolina, you can't shoot one under 75 pounds.
Yeah,
so
that's good. I don't see why anybody would want to.
Yeah, and it keeps the population good. We did have we had a meeting, and they tried to open up some of our bear sanctuaries. Okay. North Carolina was trying to keep their numbers under, I want to say, 4,000. We're up in the 5,000 range.
Yeah.
But right now, we got you down here. We ran a bear yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We killed a hog today. But we ran a bear yesterday, but I caught a lot of people trying to find us a bear.
Yeah.
It's because all those bear.
There's people out looking, them guys today.
Yeah.
They were talking about not seeing any bear. It's been a few days or a week or two or whatever it was. They said that when we were talking about it, I think he said something about it like more on the Georgia side right now, and I think you had said the same
bear
thing.
Sanctuary on Forest Creek. You mean if it were legal, you could turn a dog loose in the bear sanctuary right now.
Yeah.
3-6 bear. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
In a
Yeah,
day,
exactly.
and that's crazy talk.
Well, yesterday morning, I mean, we got on one pretty quick, which, like I said, you saying it came in on camera
Right.
early, and then we were there a few hours later.
2-3 hours behind.
Turned loose on it. Dogs, I mean, they ran it, and we went around the backside of the mountain, went up, and I mean, when we crested up there at the top, that we were down in still in a valley. There was still a long ways to go on either side.
On the top,
Yeah, we weren't. We were going to go toward that other face where they struck it at, and man, that was pretty sound. And we run silent dogs.
Yeah.
We hardly ever hear any barking unless it's bayed or if they're growling and carrying on and they're caught. But man, them dogs, Mr. Andy's and yours was just blowing it up. We didn't tree a bear, but at that point right there, they were trying to tree the bear, or they had it bayed on the ground.
Right.
Something was going on. Like you could just hear the whole energy, the tone, everything in the dogs. Well, then they moved on around, and then we had a couple of dogs peeled off one side or the other. That's when Mr. Andy told me, he said, I think they might have ran into some hogs or something during that race. And I got thinking about that part. I said, I wonder how often that happens. When you start out on a hog, next thing you know, you're on a bear. Or if you're on a bear, next thing you know, you're on a hog.
Yeah.
That happens pretty frequently.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I was explaining to you yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Bear and hog are very similar. It's like a hog and an armadillo. A lot of people have dealer dogs.
Oh,
I admit to it. But
we got some armadillo killers.
It's like
Rodney Bell does. And mine are better than his. His are second rate.
Yours are second rate. Mine ain't got a rate, Rodney. So
yeah,
they on the corner begging for your pennies.
Talking about the armadillo dogs.
That's the best.
No. Whose is the best? Say it, Rodney.
Mine.
Joey's. He's lying. He's being humble again. That's all it is. But we had a great time running the bear, and then today we said we'll do something a little different. Had a couple boar hogs come on, and we seen them. There was one that white hog that was a good hog.
It was a good hog.
Well, then that other one showed up and was like, that's a stud.
Yeah, I texted you last night and said that's the one I wanted.
So that's the one I want to show up. Well, he met his maker today. Them old dogs did a pretty good job all around. And in not enough time, I don't think Rodney gets. He don't want to take any credit ever, but he's got a couple of dogs that are they're really good dogs. I mean, we cast them from the part we casted them at. They went 3/4 of a mile, struck.
That's from the truck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, 3/4 of a mile from the truck, and it didn't go much further than that. It had a little bit of a race because we put GoPros on the dogs,
right?
And we reviewed some of the footage, and we'll show you some after a while. But didn't really go that far. They held that big bastard pretty tight right where it was at. And then, of course, our country's rough. This is ridiculous. I'm not going to lie. This is ridiculous. But old Midnight and Sally, they went down there, done their thing. We dumped some more dogs to them. Took care of business. Yeah, it was a great hunt,
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for much better.
No, overall, it was just the whole experience that we had when we were here. It's been one of the best, if not the best, trip that I've ever had, for real. And like I said, the guys that we've met, we had a couple younger guys with us today.
Yep.
Christian.
Yep.
And Silas.
Yep.
What was their last name?
Christian Marr, and I don't know.
Loving Good.
Loving Good. Yeah.
Silas Loving Good.
And he lived up to the hype.
Oh yeah.
Loving Good.
That's exactly right. Well, let me tell you something. These young men, 15 years old, somewhere
13 and 14.
13 and 14 years old. The hog we killed, we didn't put on scales, and I don't like to ever call out weights, but it's going to be the 300 mark. Well, Mr. Andy wanted to bring that hog out, and we brought that hog out. Now, keep in mind, we was 3/4 of a mile from the truck when we started. We wound up about 2 miles. 2 miles. And then we wound up about another, 2 miles?
2 miles, yep.
Yeah, 2. That's what me and they were talking about. I didn't know exactly how far it was. So you're looking at about 4 miles. So them young men, they were going to have to drag that hog 2 miles. So They did a pretty fair job.
They did. They needed some motivation.
They need some motivation.
Even Joey hopped in and drug that hog.
Oh yeah, and I'm old. It's rough. I'm telling you. But now we all helped. Everybody tried to help them. That's a lot of weight to drag uphill, downhill, through the mountains, and all that. And of course, us guys were trying to give them. We were giving them a hard time, but we wasn't too rough on them. We appreciate you guys coming. We appreciate y'all boys going with us, bringing your dogs and
a catch dog.
Yeah. Hey, that little kid. Let me tell you something. Let's get into that. Miles, that little bulldog. He went there, and when he hung onto that hog, he hung him, and I mean he hung him good. And it was a while before we could get him some help.
Right.
And he took a beating, bad beating. He's not doing so good right now.
But he made it out.
He made it out.
He didn't get carried out. He walked out.
So that's a plus. I hope he makes it. But that little dude, I do want to commend him on that. He's tough. He's got heart. He got slung off. And in the video, it was several minutes like you didn't see him. And I was like, man. I said, I know that's when he got hurt. Hey, come blazing in wide open again. I guess he caught his wind, come back, done it again, and hung him again. Then we sent the old cold man, the old dog. Yeah. He finally made his way to the thing. He's about 140 years old, I think. I don't know. He's old.
Need a little motivation. Yeah. Put a walker under him. He caught him up.
Yeah, he caught him. You'll see on that video when he hung him. But I think though Miles done wore him down enough. It wasn't that hard for Cole. Honestly,
sure enough, dog fight. You can't teach that. You can't preach that hard in a dog.
Exactly.
It ain't taught. It's like a person.
That little cur dog he had done really good too.
That dog was hurt bad enough he could have quit.
Yeah, a lot of them would have quit. I mean, seriously, a lot of dogs would have quit, and he just never did. Like I said, it is a good deal. Like I said, we appreciate y'all inviting us up and doing the whole thing, taking time out of your life. Taking us to do this.
It's our privilege.
Like I said, I'm gonna come back. We're gonna get a bear one of these days. But like I said, it's a totally different. It's so close to the terrain that we hunt, just on a much bigger scale. So like all the hills and stuff, it was like, I can handle that. Tell you something, buddy. I stopped at Dollar General down here a while ago and got me some Icy Hot. For these old fat thighs, boy, I'm telling you.
And y'all put in work today. I'm sitting over here, I'm rubbing my legs. And I'm used to this. I grew up here. Yeah. I'm used to these hills.
I think we hung in there fairly good. Probably could have done better, but it was rough. Now, yesterday with Andy, you took the easy way out. You ran. He sent you back. You took the easy way out. Let me tell you,
he was
something.
so excited he ran to the truck.
Yes, when Andy said, "Well, Jacob, you can go back down there," Jacob took off running about a mile.
I think my hat was still floating when I got back down the road.
We were already a mile deep.
Yeah,
we're close to it. All right, and let me tell you, all that work to get up to the top, and then to be there on a real, what you would say, blustery, balmy morning.
Yeah,
frost on top.
You get to see
then the clouds, and when you see the Great Smoky Mountains, when you turn around, it's just like literally you almost tear up. I did. I was like, well, this is what it's about.
Right.
And that's what Andy, 72 years old. I guarantee you, I don't care who you are. I want to see you come out walk him. I want to see you come out and work him in anything. That man is tough, son, tough.
And that's 72 hard.
72
years. He only got breath one time. That's when he was dragging the hog.
Yeah, that was today.
Dragging the hog.
Yeah, he was dragging the hog. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
72. He's about 140 pounds soaking.
Nothing but man. That some gun is rough. One of the nicest people you ever meet. Very knowledgeable. We're going to get him on an episode. We were going to do one this weekend too, but he already had some stuff going.
Commitments.
But we're going to come back and we're going to do one with him. Maybe y'all come down and hunt with us before then. But if not, we're coming back up.
You owe me a birthday present.
That's what I'm saying. Come on down. We got some big hogs too. Probably be easy for you then. You'll be like, hell, this ain't that bad. We could get down there like Carter and them on all that old flat ground and just catch them at 50 yards.
Well, we ain't throwing them on our shoulders.
No, I ain't that strong.
You see me?
So Carter's got Ryan. And Ryan's there.
Everybody thinks Carter's
Ryan's the man.
He wears them baggy clothes.
That's what it is.
Ryan's a man's man. You can't have a mustache like that.
Hell no. Exactly. Every time.
And it changes constantly. It's not just one.
He only grows it a week, like 4 days. He's
4
got
days?
he's got a mustache or
I
something like
watched him
that.
shave clean, and by his 5 o'clock shadow, he had a full mustache.
I think his 5 o'clock shadow was 11 o'clock. That's what's wrong with him. Every time he pulls up, all you hear is "Pow, tick, pow, pow." You just know it's coming. You know,
And
you
now,
watching,
I
boys,
don't
watching.
see why his truck just don't.
It does. In my mind, when I see him come through, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a hog hunter. That's what they look like.
He puts on aviators.
It's over. I can't even.
I'm telling you, that Top Gun.
Rodney Bell was down there in Louisiana. We had to tie him up, keep him back.
He's bulldog.
It's a rough situation. So, but no, we definitely want to have y'all come down. I want to get Carter and Ryan to come over too. Let's all have a good hunt.
You heard it here first. You heard it on the podcast.
Yes.
Carter and Ryan going to Alabama.
If I can get it. Well, they come over there before. They came to the shop when they done the Shackathon tournament. They came over and hung out with us, which I think they got second place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had some nice hogs. It was him and who all was in that one?
Standard.
Yeah, Standard. Now that's look, Andy told me where he hunts at. And I was like, what? He's telling me about that gorgeous stuff. I was like, I would never go over there. Not even with a helicopter.
But
These guys are
that's
built
Tennessee
different.
Cattle, you know, I mean, him and Andy. I mean, I'm from the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
But Standard
That's
and
different.
Andy, Standard and Andy, they're mountain men.
That's what I said. That's a little.
I
they're a little
prefer
different.
that flat ground. I like to go down to that flat Georgia ground.
Yeah.
If you ask Carter and Standard, or if you ask Andy and Standard where they want to hunt,
Yeah.
they want these mountains. They love these mountains. They eat 'em
yes, you could tell that with Andy, 100%. I mean, like you could just, I don't know, you could tell it. It's like he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna knock this out, and he never wanted to take the easiest route. But it probably was the easiest route because you don't live that many years and hunt that much, and not know the easiest route.
He's been hunting 55 years. Last time he updated me, so
Yeah.
since his 17 years.
I think that's what he told us yesterday.
Yeah,
It's over 50 years, and that's a milestone to me. That's a long time.
That he can take you on any ridge on the North Carolina side and take you to the Appalachian Trail, and take you the easiest way. A normal man would just see it and point as a crow flies.
Yeah.
He says, no, you need to go this way down this ridge, and they all have names here. Every mountaintop has a name here. Now, they got some crazy
Every
names
watershed, every branch. I heard a bunch of them yesterday, and I was like, I told him one time, I said, I don't know where I'm at. He's like, okay, well, look, this is what's going to happen. And, and he laid it out for me. Just like you was talking about earlier about driving the truck. It's like, this is what's going to happen today. Here's what we're doing. Hey, that's what happened.
And he sent me down with Rodney, he said, you know the country. And I said, I don't know the country. I know road names. I know paved road and dirt road names. He knows them logging road names.
Yeah.
And so he said, I can follow Garmin and figure out which paved road's close enough. And then, I'm going to go my way, not Andy's way. Andy got to a dog 45 minutes faster.
Yeah.
His way. I just have to go as crow flies.
You just got to go, yeah.
He said,
go
I said, I know what I know. I know it better than them, but I don't know it like you, Andy. I mean, that's old man stopped today to talk to us about he wanted to hike up to the Appalachian Trail from North Carolina side. And I said, if you'll wait 5 minutes, I said, a gentleman will be here to tell you exactly what ridge to walk if you want it to be easy on you. So if you keep asking me, I said, you'll get there. You'll get there. You
Sooner or later,
like
you'll get there, yeah. He's got a lot of knowledge, Andy does, and that's why I said I'd like to get him on here, and when I do that, when I'm probably going to have like some questions and all that written down, kind of get a game plan, because all these here, I don't do that, we don't do scripts. We're not going to be like, well, this is what we're going to do or none of that. Just like we just get on here and just get with it.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, I know knowledgeable. Man, you sit down with Andy, though. I mean, you only got so much time to ask these questions. You could interview him 24 hours.
Exactly, and that's why you want to do it. People like that, they're going to be gone. One of these days, we're going to be gone. And if we can pass that knowledge down and keep that tradition and heritage alive, that's the only thing that's going to keep it alive.
Right.
You've got to pass it down. Taking those young guys out today, giving them a hard time and all that they'll hunt from now on,
but
or they won't.
Right.
One of the two, But if they don't know how to do it, some people just, they don't have the grit and the determination to say, I'm going to learn how to do this by myself.
Right.
So very few people are going to do that, especially when it's hard. So having guys like you and having guys like Andy, and it's a process. You got Andy, you and him hunt together, then it's going to be you, then you and Christian, and then we're going to hunt together, and then another few years, then Christian's going to take somebody else hunting. It's just gonna keep going down the line.
That's the way to build it. I tell people, and I was telling you earlier. I've been in the dog world. I was a bit avid deer hunter, avid turkey hunter for the last 2.5 years. I started working for Mr. Andy when I was 18 years old, and for the first 3-4 years, he dogged me and said, "Hey, go bear hunting with me, go hog hunting with me." And I always blew it off. I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. First time I went with him, I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And then Andy gave me, what I consider my lead dog. And I tell you, he ain't no superstar. He's a solid dog.
Yeah.
But Andy gave me that dog, and from the ground up, it's been built off of a lot of what Andy's told me and a little of what I've learned, meeting you guys and other guys. But without Andy, I wouldn't be sitting here with you today.
Yeah.
I got there's and I mean, I want to say there's good men and there's bad dog men out there.
Oh yeah.
And Andy is one of the best dog men, hands down, and I am blessed to have even known him. And now I look back at that 18, 19, 20-year-old me, saying,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do this. And I regret I regret it. Because like you said,
But you
there's
didn't
no being
know.
into it. And I removed 4 years from that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I make the most of it today. Having you guys here, and that's going to be my thanks to you guys. Andy was beaming from the time we let out of the truck. You boys had him laughing. You boys had him having a good time.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you're cracking jokes just to get him to stop for a minute.
Yeah, we did because he's wearing me out. He's killing me.
But just
I'd ask him a question. I'd be sitting there just looking. Hey, Andy, if you go up that hill, and he'd be like, he'd stop. Well, look, he'd start telling me. I was like, yeah, we'll take a break now. He's great. He is.
But I love taking people. I love taking people and showing them. But at the end of the day, teaching someone means a lot to me, or taking someone means a lot to me. But seeing the joy in Andy's face, getting with you guys, and having Christian and Loving Good there was called.
He like I said, I hope he had a good time.
He did. The way like I said, the way he lights up, see him enjoying it. After 55 years in the dog world, to still see a man enjoying this life.
Exactly. And when you got somebody like that, and they turn around and look at you and say, well, boys, that's about as good a hog dog as that I've ever seen. When they do that, it's like
Rodney's gonna start cutting his eyes.
That means a whole lot.
It
means you're doing something right. Like yesterday, he was like, I need to get me one of them young cur dog stuff, and he's like, now, I told him, I said, well, we'll find you one to carry on. He said, I already found mine. He said, just that yellow one in that box.
He's trying to talk off Joey out of one of his
He's wanting that one. Well, I got it from JT. He's a good dog. He's a young dog, And we try anybody that's in our area that hunts. There's there's a few, very few, that are just jerks.
Right.
But the majority, and I mean the overall majority, all those guys are really trying to produce good dogs. That's first and foremost. Then they're trying to hunt. And you got to have those two in a combination.
Right.
To even have the first one. You got to hunt. You got to have something good to start with. And so, and I'm lucky enough to have guys around me that, they look up, I ain't gonna say look up to me, but think enough of me to call and be like, hey, I got a dog that's doing this, this, and this. It's a good dog, and it just doesn't fit the way that I hunt. See what you can do with it. And I'll take that dog and we're going to do something with it.
Right.
We've got our own stock too, of course, but it's a little different. They're more long range dogs, crazy lunatics. They don't want to sit and bay or none of that. They want to just grab a hold and then they get hurt, and that's a tough deal, especially when you get up in the mountain areas like these.
300 yards for us took, 20 minutes, 15, 20
Oh,
minutes.
yeah. Well, it ain't no telling how long it took from as soon as they really started baying, really. Because I think it was, 3 or 4 clips on that video with Ronnie? 3? That's 20-minute intervals. That's an hour.
For us to
The bulldog was caught 20-something minutes.
27 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it was 20-something minutes. Well, now he had other dogs there too, is what I'm saying. And they were trying to help him too. It was, but it kept going down the hill. We were close enough that it should have been just bang. And honestly, I don't, like I said, it's the first time I've ever come up here, but that seemed like a pretty quick hunt. I couldn't imagine a damn hard hunt. Lord have mercy.
That's what I was telling you. Down there in the lower country, I'll say, is cur dog country. You want to find a good cur dog, you go south. You want to find a good hound dog, you find them up here. With the problem with hound dogs, if that would have been our dogs on that hog today, he'd have heard them coming from a mile away. We've depicted that hog's been caught before. I know he ain't been caught by a person. Some dogs have hung off that hog before.
Well, he had scars on hocks. You could
Hawks,
see
half his ear split
his
in
ear
half.
was already split, and just his overall demeanor. What was he doing right in that video? Yeah, like as soon as the dogs, they wouldn't even really get a lot of pressure on him. But if they came to him, he would turn, he would spin, and he would sit down.
And he always had his back against something.
Yes, he would spin and he would sit down. You know, I'm not the smartest guy in the world by no means. I'm not the best hog hunter at all. But if a hog is doing that, he's protecting himself. And if he's never had dogs on him, then he wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, he wouldn't have them scars either. So he's been ran. He's been hung on to. But ain't nobody else.
We walked them today, and we walked out there, and those dogs. And while we were walking, Andy said, "I smell that hog." We pretty much found its bed.
Yeah. Well, that's where they wound up jumping it. We were
in its bed.
Yeah, right there in its bed. Like it literally, you can watch this video. It stood up. Oh, Midnight come around the backside. Sally come around this other side, and she looked over at him. She said, "Peekaboo, woo, 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 woo," just like that. And he stood up and shook the dirt off of him. I said, "She wouldn't woke his ass up."
Right. And we love hounds.
And that's how you do it. That's a silent dog.
But he'd have heard that hound dog
And been gone
at the cabin, and he would have had that 3/4 of a mile as a crow flies head start.
Yeah.
So what the dogs took about 1.5 miles to get to him, he'd have had that head start.
Yes.
And in this area, you pick a lot of your dogs up on the National Forest in Georgia, and you don't want to be on the National Forest up here in Georgia.
We picked up a Georgia dog today.
Yeah,
some guys. Yeah. Talking about the dog or the hog having a head start. The second one they struck, that's what happened there.
They backed out, and I think they were where they crossed the road in front of Rodney is over another top,
Exactly.
off another side.
That hog had that little head start, and he put a whooping on him. Like literally, that we got burned, we got smoked on that one. I mean, they hung in there. Don't get me wrong.
Same size. I mean, maybe a 25-pound difference in these two hogs.
Yeah,
a little bit smaller.
It's a big hog.
275-pound hogs should be torching dogs like that.
Exactly, but they do. These hogs are built. I mean, they built Ford tough, baby. They something. And like I said, the dogs done what they were supposed to do. This is the first time they ever been in any kind of big terrain like this, you know. So, yeah, you take a lot of things into consideration. The overall part of it worked out great because, like I said, we had those two down there baying, sent young dogs.
Right.
All the young dogs went down there and went to work. Then we sent a couple other dogs. They went down there and went to work. Everything worked out good.
I mean, it's great for us, 2 8-month-old dogs.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, and y'all's dogs do phenomenal to be young dogs.
How long was Christian's black out there? 10 months, 11 months, what is that?
That
11
one,
months.
yeah, I think so, 10 or 11 months old. And if I'm not mistaken, his was the one that was staying. That dog's going to wind up being rough. Like, I mean, it was baying. Honestly, it normally should have busted the bay. You know, just too much pressure.
Right.
But if you're walk hunting and, you know, the way we do it like that, I like a rough dog. I don't want to race. I want you to grab a hold of it, but I want you to commit. You know,
Still a little young.
Yeah.
He ain't committing just yet, but that dog's going to commit.
I think he will, especially if you get with another rough dog. I think that was the only reason he didn't do it today is because none of the dogs got, you know, too crazy. There's sometimes where all of ours just go in there and there's not even a bay. They just go, you know, they're dogs.
Right.
They have their days. They'll go in there and just bust his ass wide open. And then the next time they'll stand back and they'll bay, you know.
Yeah.
It just depends. But when they catch, they catch.
I mean, for an 11-month-old dog, the way he's pushing.
He's doing good. Just hunting. That's all you can do. And same, like I said, in yours and Mr. Andy's too.
I mean, they range.
Are they litter mates?
Litter mates
Yeah.
off of Kevin Brooks, actually. Ryan put me up with him.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I know that
May
name.
need to block that name out of there. Not want his name put out there. But Ryan helped me get
Yeah.
that dog.
No, I just say I know that name from somewhere. I was trying to think. It might be on Facebook or somewhere. I know it. But that name is very familiar anyway. But like I said, it's
You know a guy named Nathan Brooks.
oh, that might be what it is. Yeah, Nathan. 'Cause Nathan lives in South. I think more down South Georgia, don't he? Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I mean, we're blessed to have them. I mean, we got down there, we got them right off 2 really good dogs, and I mean, pups to go out following your bird bull. I mean, 500 yards, 600 yards. I've had pups that don't want to leave your feet because that's who feeds them.
Well, my dog was just lost, really. He
But even
was just walking around wondering.
Well, you know,
He was like, "What the hell's going?" Yeah, they took off
I
and
think
went.
they split. I think they split because at one point both those boys were on the camera together.
Yes,
And I think they split the track. I mean,
Yeah.
because
but it was weird. Midnight and Sally both took off up that hill.
same track that
Same track the other dogs wind up going, but they came back, and then because they just made kind of a shorter loop, and then they came back, and then Rodney casted them back down the road bed.
yeah.
And then that's why when they went just a little further, then that's when they
cut
went.
the next ridge down.
Yeah, then they went on and took that one. But all the other dogs went back to where they originally started. And they went further. You know, they kept working further and further. Cole was really heading out. He was checking out pretty good. Actually, at one time, he was like 700 and something yards. And I told him, because that's when they started baying down there. I said, I want him back this way.
Ended up we needed Cole.
Yeah, I mean, really did. Like I said, that ain't no doubt. I think we still could have caught the hog. I think it was caught. But it saved a lot on the rest of the dogs
Saved
anyway.
a lot on me too. If that dog went on that ear.
Yeah,
we did make the mistake. No one had a rifle. No one had a pistol.
yeah.
If the dog didn't catch that hog, it was gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Well, we normally don't take anything because we just take Nathan. Say, Nathan, get him.
I thought Rodney was a bulldog.
Get him. Rodney don't do the bulldog stuff no more. It's getting too old.
Hey, now
Getting too old.
he done real good on the radio today, telling us. You know,
He did.
we were headed towards the bay, and he called us and said, "Hey, them dogs are bait."
Yes, he did. But he did drive.
He did. He met us at the bottom.
Listen, he does not like this cut. Look, like for you guys who've never been up here in the Smoky Mountains, it's different. Some of the roads I had a half a tank of fuel, and I stopped.
Severe scare.
Yeah, and I stopped, and I had a jug full of diesel, and I just went ahead and poured it in because I was scared. I was like, man, this thing's going to catch air going up because it's at such a steep angle. You can't drive up it if you're not in four-wheel drive, and it's not wet. You know, that's just the road to Andy's cabin.
Well, we had to give Rodney something to stare at the whole time.
Yes.
He looked off that other end.
That dude, he was getting, I don't know what it was. He's scared of heights. Is that what it is, Rodney?
You faced the fear today, though.
Yeah, because we all went down to after we killed the hog and stuff. Rodney stayed at the top of the truck. Hey, and JT, you already know we always talking about Rodney always up there. So now listen to this. We get over there. It was like, okay, now drive the truck around, come back out. And he's by himself, and he's got to come up this mountain, come out, all these roads. He don't know where in the hell he's at. And he's driving Andy's truck. He's on the radio. He's like,
Stick shift.
yeah, straight shift truck going up down in mountains. He's like, I just really don't feel comfortable doing that.
He's puckered. I'll tell you.
What did you say at first, Rodney, when Andy said drive my truck around here?
Just be honest with you, I really don't want
Yeah,
to.
he said, I'll be honest, I really don't want to. I got on the radio. I said, Rod, we're down here with this damn 300-pound hog. We done killed it with your damn dogs. I said, we done drug it some gun.
And I
2.5 miles. I said, now get in that damn truck, come up here and get me. I said, I ain't walking no more.
And Rodney didn't know it, and I'll go ahead and expose myself twice.
He's done exposed himself.
The last 2 hunts, the Friday hunt and today's hunt, I left my keys in someone else's truck.
He sure did.
So Rodney was going to have to come. My truck was parked at the bottom.
Yeah, we had the truck. Yeah, we didn't even know it, did we?
I didn't even know
We didn't know it at the
until I got
time.
down there.
Oh, my God. If we'd have walked to that truck and you didn't have him keys, Andy would have he would, oh, shit.
Oh, that's our relationship, though.
Yeah.
I keep his heart ticking.
Yes, you do. He told me yesterday, he's like, what was he talking about the keys? He said, we got up there, he's like, I don't see his keys. He says, does he keep them in the gas tank? I said, I don't know, Mr. Andy. I said, I really don't. I said, I'd almost bet they're in his pocket, though. He said, that's about right. That's it.
Y'all
He
should have
just-
seen
it was
He said
funny.
that- I mean, Jacob's face, he hollered him on that radio. He said, where's them keys at?
Oh, so you did hear. And he told me, he said,
he's on the radio.
he said he heard me. He said he ain't answered me
You know
because
what he
he's
did?
got them keys.
Hey, look, this is what he did.
Yeah, he said he don't want that tongue lashing or something. That's funny.
No, he said that
went-
because he said something to me, and I said I'll be there in 5. And I
Yeah,
just- I
that's
hung-
what. Yeah,
hung
that's
the
it.
radio up.
Yeah, it's like just put your head down like
He
that.
didn't say that for a minute, and he looked over at me, and his eyes got big.
I'll go ahead and give you guys another funny backstory about me and Andy. So, the garment on my neck, I'll be honest with you, Andy got it for me. That's Andy's my like I said.
Hey,
I'm blessed.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
That is tied to my neck. That stays right here. It's always within my sight.
Yeah.
So I'd say it was last year sometime. He sent me, and another boy gave me good instructions on how to get to this hog. So I get down through there, and I'm getting down to this hog. We get down to where the bay's at. We kill the hog. We walk out. And we get back to Andy. And he was calling me on the radio the whole way down. Well, after we killed the hog, he didn't call me back on the radio or anything, or I thought he hadn't called me back on the radio. So we get the hog killed. We come out, and he says, "Where's my radio?" And I said, "Oh, it's right." He bought that radio that week to give me so we'd be able to stay in communication. He could send me to places. Well, now he keeps a lead on me.
Yeah.
Because I'd misplace my head if it wasn't attached to my shoulder. And he understands that. I'm a good hand, but don't hand me something and say, "Hey, hold on to this."
I know how that goes.
It ain't disappearing in my pocket. It may be right there on the floor, but we're going to have to look for it.
Yeah.
And he understands
I know a fella or two like that. Not me, and that's for sure. Rodney.
Is there Rodney
Nathan.
Bell in the building?
Initials are Rodney and Nathan. I don't know where my car keys are. Well, how you going to go anywhere? How do you lose your car keys?
Hey, but you and Andy knew where my car keys were both times.
Oh, yeah. I think it's because, I don't know. Back when I was young, you didn't have to have car keys.
Oh, you want to tell them about the wallet story, too?
Oh, yeah. Then we lost the wallet. The greatest thing was like, we're going to get a show. And we're going to work some dogs a little bit. My God. Let me tell you.
So let me.
The hog hunt was not near as bad as going to get in the show. I don't think on the dogs.
I'll give you my bay pen. I'll give you my bay pen explanation. We got some hogs. We can get them in a side pen. Well, these shoats ain't gonna go in the side pen. There's one old naughty haired sow in there that ain't going in the side pen, and we got another boar in there that ain't going in the side pen.
What's some nice hogs too.
So we got them in the side pen. Got the gates closed, and I was like, all right. Well, we got up there to the bay, and we're thinking that old young dog of yours is like most dogs. Wants to pick a little fella.
Three shoats and two bigger hogs.
Yep. Well, I forgot one gate to begin with. We'll go ahead and say.
Oh yeah, so we got down to one little hog.
Two smallest of the shoats slipped back into the cage of the big one. I was like, oh, someone go close that gate. We'll get that gate closed. Well, mind you, now we got two big hogs and one little hog. Still thinking that.
Yeah, I mean, you got a 40-pound pig there, 30, 40 pounds, and then you got
if I was
200 pounders. Yeah, what's a young dog gonna do? Grab the little pig?
Yeah, I don't pick fights I can't finish.
Yeah,
I'm picking a fight with that 40 pounder.
Wrong.
No, he said no. He picked and that yellow boar is nothing to be. I'm gonna get it somewhere, and some of you guys will get to see him.
He's a nice hog.
He's
a
nice hog.
Nice hog.
You'll get to see him if you're in the competitive
whoop
scene.
Your dog's ass.
But so that.
Young or old, it don't matter. He don't discriminate.
In that side pen, we have them old doors you use in a bay pen to get your dog off hogs. Well, I grown hogs.
See, I didn't know you had them boards either.
Yeah. So
until after that was over.
See, I told him that after it was over. I mean, we tried cornering this thing. I got up on some logs. This sow did not like me. She ran under me one time when I was.
Yep.
She tried to get me. Well, we get out, and I believe we got out somewhere. Oh, taking my mama to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and I meant it this time. Usually I'll go out to dinner with her, and I saw I ain't got my wallet. But I meant it this time, so I coach wrestling. I went up and checked the wrestling room, wasn't there, checked my car, checked Andy's truck. And Rodney and Joey told me that they were making fun of me at the hog pen for having that old chain wallet. My chain broke, so I just had a chain swinging around. Well, when I was climbing up one of them trees, it fell out. So after the hunt today, me and Christian went up through there, and them dang hogs, and got it to a creek and rummaged through it. Didn't tear the money. There wasn't much in there to begin with.
Pulled that shit out.
Pulled it out, so I got dirty money right now.
Dirty piggy money, baby.
And Joe's been telling me the whole evening my money ain't good enough. So
that's it.
I don't know if I'm the host or he's the host.
That's why I said, look, I'm buying supper, buying dinner, doing all that stuff. He's got that old dirty money. No, ain't having it.
He said I don't want to associate myself with that dirty money. And I said, that's fine.
Hey, shout out to the Huddle House here too. They took
shout out
care
to the ladies at the Huddle House.
Ladies at the Huddle House, yes. That's right.
If you're ever looking for a good place to eat, Huddle House, Hayesville, Highway 64, in between the Ingles and the auto parts.
Yes, it was great. Ain't no doubt. We went to Chevelle's. That was a great place.
Chevelle's was good. Rib Country.
Rib Country was,
and
man, that brisket was phenomenal. Yeah, and then we ate Mexican tonight. That was good. all it was good. Like I said, it's a nice area. We're staying at the Deerfield Inn, and dude, it's a small. It's one of those you feel it's like homey, cozy. I guess you'd say it's like a cozy little.
Yeah, and I
little
told you when
spot,
I
yeah.
walked in, I told you about it, and I got in here and I said, "This is nice."
Oh, in the morning you open the door, you look in the lake,
Yeah.
those mountains, dude. It's well, most people would be seeing that. What we see is dark and it's cold as hell.
Just don't come up here to leaf look, please. You're allowed to vacation up here.
That's what we're doing. We're gonna be a leaf looker. Come up and take some pictures of them leaves.
Them yellow
changing
signs are
colors.
optional speed limits, boys and girls.
Yeah.
You can double that.
Give it-
Double that.
Push the skinny pedal
Give
on the
her
right.
hell.
Giving her hell, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's a really nice area.
What is it? Get ahead if you can't get a tip.
Yeah. Get ahead, baby. That's some of that deep South Southern culture there. That's that lingo.
Now I start yelling at my dog. He looks back at me. He says, "I'm from the north."
Yeah.
talking
Like, I don't know
Get
what the hell
ahead.
get ahead means. He's like, yeah, I'm just getting a box.
These old men over here, you don't know what they're yelling. It's and their dogs go.
Yeah.
Hey, Rodney talks to his like kids, and they listen.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive. Old Midnight and Sally, they speak English.
Yes, they do. You notice we can let it, like seriously, you can let them dogs out right here in this parking lot. No leads, no nothing. Get over here, go do this, go do that.
Go catch me a lake rock.
Yeah, go paint that sidewalk. Something. They'll do whatever you ask
They
them.
do it.
Sometimes.
You know,
But
you
now if we
can't-
brag on them now, then we go hunting tomorrow night, we ain't gonna catch shit.
Yeah, just and two. One thing you can't tell Midnight. Stay away from boys. You can't tell her that.
No, she loves the men this weekend for real. That dog is not in heat. Shows no signs of being in heat that I could see.
And that was a young dog. It was an
Hey, she
11-month-old cur dog.
We go around the corner and she's
She's a cougar.
hung up. Yeah. We're like, what in the hell?
And don't
is going on?
want to see you in the comments saying where these pups gonna be because you don't want those. I promise you.
No, they ain't no good.
She's supposed to be a girl.
Yeah, them dogs ain't no good. We're gonna send them
Now
to
Rodney's
the
a
clinic.
good pimp. Them's them special girls.
We'll have to send her to the clinic. Get that stuff taken care of.
I'll talk about that too now.
He should have wrapped it. I don't know what kind of dogs they got here. We didn't even get charged a stud dog fee though.
Yeah, he was asking Rodney about a pup. I said, Rodney's gonna charge you a stud fee.
Yeah, he's going to come for breeding that to that dog. Yeah, but that in all honesty, that dog, like I said, he was really genuine on that video. I was like, damn, he's a pretty tough little old dog.
He is. Bred well. Don't know where he got him. His mama may be a good dog.
Is he
from
bred
bad neighborhood.
top and bottom?
He's bred top, bottom.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. He's
His
white
daddy's
breed.
his uncle. His uncle's his daddy. You know. That's
He's
how
white
they-
bread, wheat bread. And so we got we can see we done went over all the bullshit and stuff. What's the next thing we need to discuss? We got we'll talk about some of our events that we got coming up too. We need to run over that. What's the first event that we got coming up? Would be we got Downsville.
Y'all not doing any
Yep.
shake-thon?
Yeah, we're gonna do something. Like I said,
We haven't set a date yet.
we haven't set a date, and I was going to try to get it done the past week or so, but still looking at because there's so many tournaments in February. We wanted to break out and be the first one,
January.
so but we can't hunt in January. Our
Georgia
deer
boys
season don't even go out till February 10th.
Well, if you Alabama boys wasn't hunting it, I wouldn't finish last. I'd finish second to last behind somebody.
Well, I mean,
I'd climb up the leaderboard. You Alabama boys leave it alone.
I don't know
Shout
about
out
that.
Heath.
Yeah. Well, now Heath's gonna catch the biggest sow. He catches that all the time. Yeah. Well,
You got big titty sows that you just.
that's
said.
what Heath loves. Them big girls. He loves them. He likes grabbing them and flip them over. Hang on.
He's a pork pounder.
Yes. See that shirt right there? Pork pounder. Well, so we got them, and then we got I think the Dylan Dingler hunt. That's around
Also standard.
the 2nd of February or the second weekend of February. Then we got that'd be the first weekend of February. March.
Tulsa's first week,
Tulsa.
2nd through the 5th.
Yeah, Boys and Brawls will be having theirs. There's Ronnie Creek's gonna have the the Hog Dog Rendezvous, the Woods Hunter. Yep. February 17th through 19th. Feels like there's something else I'm forgetting. I don't know what it is.
March tournament's usually pretty late, isn't it?
I'm trying. Broughton Island. They're having the Sweetheart Bay. Yeah, Valentine's Day Bay. And they haven't had one in a couple of years.
Now, Rodney, you're going to have to show up for that when you got your sweetheart, your girls.
Oh, we're going to be there. We're going to be there. Ain't no doubt.
No, not now.
Well,
Midnight won't be there. Midnight.
She'll be whelping puppies.
She'll be whelping puppies.
Probably somewhere around that time. So, hey, look, he loves it. He loves this stuff.
For dogs that can only hunt, what is that? After they get done, what? 8 months out of the year.
Because
They're
take care of that. We're fixing to take care of it.
4 months out of the year.
I know.
What is this? The fourth time she's found her?
Third or fourth time? Fourth?
I think the fifth time that she's found her.
Maybe
old
fifth.
man on the hunt.
Yeah, and it's on the hunt every time.
Never before she catches a pig.
And listen.
Always after.
Yes, after she catches a pig, she's like,
I just need to get laid.
I need to get laid.
I understand where she's coming from.
Yeah. That's what
You think, like when I got home after that hunt, I wanted to sleep. She said no. She said, I want one thing before I take a nap.
Oh,
She made it known. We thought she went to bay, and we ran to that corner and looked up. And
that was the end of it.
She's baying something.
Yeah.
She's caught.
I didn't know what the hell, because I heard her holler. Remember
Yeah,
when
I
it was
seen it on the garment.
I was like, what the hell's she doing? Went up there and
20 barks a minute, if that tells you.
yeah, Mr. Andy, he said, hey, you going after puppies? I said, oh, Lord. I said, Rodney's going to kill everybody. Because this, and that's why it was funny, because it's like, this has happened a few times.
I mean, you can't fight. He can't pair with anybody, people. So don't
He
say, hey,
can't
pair
fight
me.
that feeling anymore. That's what it
She
is.
finds her own pairs. Now, that
That's
might
right.
be Rodney's girl, but she said, I'm going to find myself a man.
Compatibility.
You just need to find yourself about a 2-year-old dog. She likes them youngins.
Yes.
She don't like them old dogs. She don't like them proven dogs.
Yeah.
Up and comers.
I don't think
Oh, my
she cares.
No, she don't care. I don't,
She don't
I don't think
discriminate.
she does at all. So, all right. So, your birthday's when? February 3rd?
February 3rd.
Are you going to come to Alabama?
Yeah.
Because that
It's Friday. We're coming down.
February the 10th is when deer season goes out on the 11th. Like we can, but no, we can still hunt. We can still hunt. It's just like everybody. If you don't have your own land that you can hunt, private land, and even at a lot of private land, they don't even want you on it because deer season's going on.
Yeah.
But we have our own property that we keep just to hog hunt.
Right.
I don't allow any deer hunting, no turkey hunting, no foolishness like that on that at all. Anything comes out there and eats any of my hog bait, it's gone. Knock them out. Don't have it. I wish we could manage trophy boards where we're at, but we cannot. So
Not in many places you can.
no, I mean like right now, like we would try to. I would try to keep the population down as much as I can on all the shoats and smaller pigs and stuff. And so that way when it does come time for guys like y'all to come visit with us, we can get on a good board without running into a group of 20, 30-pound pigs,
Yeah, we got lucky, them boys today, they said they were running shows. They shows everywhere. But we got, about 4 days ago, our sows left out and have been 3 good boars frequenting the cabins.
Yeah. That was a good board today. That's, I really wish we had had some scales. And I mean, if in another instance, if it had been a little closer, a little easier access, I would have been like, hey, let's drag him out. We drug him out anyway, but I would have left him
You get an indicator, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 6'4", and he nearly stood taller than me. That's butt to head, not top of his feet to head.
No, top of his feet, he was over you. Because, I mean, in those pictures that I posted, his nose is on the ground. I think maybe the last picture where everybody was standing in it, it was about an inch off the ground because I had you raise him up. Because at first, I mean, he was still cocked sideways. And we went and looked at some pictures of hogs that we had caught that were comparable to that size, and he's actually, if you look at the comparison, his height, body size, and everything, he's quite a bit bigger. The last one that we caught that was good size hog, he was 270.
I mean, when we got him off that mountain, he's 700.
Yeah, he was every bit of it.
And after that 2-mile drag, he was 700. He fluctuated big time.
That's why Christian then was like, oh no. That's some days right there where you're like, I don't want to be a hog hunter.
People always talk about ground shrinkage. They never talk about drag growth.
That some bitch kept growing. Like literally, when we pulled him out of that truck, that's why I looked at you and Andy. I was like, Because all of us were sitting there. It's one of them deals where everybody's looking at each other and is like, that's so much weighs over 300 pounds. But you're also looking at each other saying, I don't want to be the guy who's just guessing.
Yeah, because
I don't like guys. I don't like
You
people like
guess so
that.
much
Oh,
more.
he's 350 plus. That son of a bitch don't weigh 210.
I've
You know?
seen 350 look a whole lot like 40. So.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. No, I'm dead serious. I see that a lot. And I didn't want it to be like that, but it's one of those deals where it's like, okay, because we all sat and discussed it when we were up there,
Yeah.
just talking.
But I
you
mean,
know,
you
it was
got,
like
you got 8 people agreeing that it's
275, 280, somewhere in there. You know, that's what I would have said, you know, between 260 and 280. And then it's like, man, the more you look at it, it's like, it just looks bigger. And then when we got it out to where we could really see it, it was like, this is a big hog. You know, this would be a trophy class boar. Because there are people that come to, you know, they come pay people to take them on hunts like that,
Right.
hunt of a lifetime. And
What, 2.5 inch cutter?
yeah, it had good teeth.
Good teeth.
You know, where we're at, the hogs don't really have good teeth. And I think that's kind of common with a lot of big hogs. But he had some big old thick, chunky blades on him. And you can see the Russian influence here on the hogs, the way they're built.
Wow.
Them guys that
Russian
pulled up said that
Mhm.
the,
Yeah, the Putins.
them guys that they caught these dogs.
Yeah, the guys that were from Georgia.
Well, you got to think Andy's son showed up. Andy's
Yeah.
son's been hog hunting. You know, he's
That's
in
why he was like, that thing's gonna weigh 315, 320. I was like,
and that comes from somebody who ain't been looking at it. That's just
Yeah.
initial look.
just
So
walked
okay,
up. That's what them other guys said. As soon as he pulled up, he was talking about it, and I said, I just looked at him. I said, what do you think that hog weigh right there? He said, oh, that's 300 or more every day. He said he said 325 or something like that. And I was like, that might be a little much on it, you know, but he's a big hog.
I mean, I stick with 700 at the bottom of the mountain.
Yes.
You know, when we got him there, he's 700. Now, what he was when we hung him or killed him, don't matter.
Don't
700
matter.
at the bottom of
Yes.
the mountain.
Well, I know one thing. It started out, everybody's freezing to death, couldn't get enough of the heat. He don't have a shirt on.
Great white hunter.
I mean, wide open coming down through there. I'm like, well, what happened to being?
Straight down at S-hook.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
Well, yeah. I built me a hog drag. I was like, I'm gonna try this, which I've used it a couple times.
Oh, God.
I said-
This was going downhill.
Going downhill, the hog got hung on a log. The old white ox over here takes off. He straightens out the S hook on it, and I was like, well, that hog drag ain't worth the shit. Don't buy none of them.
Well, it's because younger boys made me drag. You know, I'm a younger
Yeah.
boy, but they
And they were laughing at you, man.
And then he started laughing.
Christian
I
was
straightened the S.
laughing at you.
When I straightened that S hook, they drug that hog the rest of the way. No, I think
No, Nathan drug
Nate
it.
took it all the way to the road,
Yeah.
and then we made them drag it all the way out.
Yeah,
that
then
road.
they drug it down the rest of the road there, yeah.
We
That-
motivated them well, though. And
Yeah.
he said, where them young boys at? We said, doing
I
their
don't know
deeds.
how long it took for him to get down there, but I know I left. Me and Andy left and went back up there and got my truck, and it's a pretty good little stretch to get around through there. And like I said, I don't know how long was it before they got back.
Oh, they didn't drag it all the way to the truck. Me and Nate drug it all the way to the truck.
Oh, Lord, Christian Science.
That last 50 yards whooped them.
I had so much hope in America. Oh, my God.
We had to be that person that, rounds the corner dragging it. We had to look good.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what to say. The whole deal, I really figured they were just going to grab it, throw it over their shoulder, and walk out. And then now here we are. We got the handicap and the elderly dragging the damn thing.
I figured he's gonna make like his hero, but he ain't there yet.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know who's his hero.
Carter Schultz.
Carter Schultz. Well, I mean, that's a good hero to have.
It is, honestly.
Nothing wrong with that.
Good old boy,
Carter's
man.
my hero too. Down there at the steakhouse.
Ryan's my. You see this? You
Yeah.
see this blonde mustache? I'm gonna dye it, and Ryan's gonna be mine.
You're gonna have to draw you one on like his. I'm sorry.
You can't draw something like that. That's American made.
Yeah. Well,
Actually,
you are correct.
Hey,
that is
that's Georgia made. That's a UGA Bulldog.
UGA Bulldog.
Go Dogs.
That's the man. I wish they would come over and hunt with us sometime. Or I'm gonna go over there and hunt with them. They have called and invited me to hunt, and we were actually going to go hunt, and I don't remember what happened. Oh, Ryan had work, and Carter I think he was somewhere else on a hunt or something. He was somewhere different, and one of the guys that they hunt with called me. They gave him my number, and he was like, "Hey," so they started talking. I was like, "No, it was at first, Well, I didn't know who he was at all. And he was like, "Hey, I was talking to Ryan, and said that you were supposed to come down and hunt and all that stuff. He said, I want to go to a place. He said, we don't get to go there very often. He's tons of pigs. Went through the whole thing. He's like, you want to bring your dogs and come help me?
We only get to hunt one morning.
Yeah. We could only hunt that one morning. And it was on Friday morning is what it was. Because we planned to go Saturday. And he done that. I was like, I hated that I couldn't go. But the respect level went through the roof with those guys. I was like, because we planned on doing it. Instead of flaking out and saying, oh, man, I can't do it this weekend. They still.
I mean, you got to think, too. I mean,
they still were going to have
Ryan,
somebody there.
Firefighter.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying.
And, like I called him this weekend trying to get him up here.
Yeah.
Ryan's a firefighter, had to work public servant, thank you service.
Mm-hmm.
Does work for the public. Carter, coaching wrestling, coaching the youth.
Well, they got stuff to do.
So.
I mean, it's like.
And it's admirable stuff, too.
Yes. Oh, it ain't like they're just jacking around. Yeah.
I'm too tired, I ain't coming,
Mm-hmm.
They're true to, making better people, helping people.
They are. They do a lot of stuff, too. They, and they catch a lot of shit on social media and stuff from a lot of wannabe guys. And I don't get wrapped up in it a whole lot. I kind of, I'll look at it and I'll read a bunch of the junk on there, but it's like, the only reason people are doing that, they try to pick apart somebody because they're jealous.
It's like me walking over. It's while Carter and Ryan's that light over there, and I'm walking over to it, and I want to put it in my face.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all it is.
My 5 seconds of glory, and they don't entertain it. Now they'll meet you at home, but after they've said their piece, it's done. Lines of comments afterwards, and they're like, "Oh, I ain't entertaining it." Now we've said our piece.
Yeah, you said what you had to say. That's what I said. I think they handle it very well. They handle it a lot better than I can.
I mean,
I don't have a lot of negative stuff. I don't put out near the content.
But they're growing.
And that's another reason I don't, is because I don't want to deal with a bunch of it. And to me, it takes a whole lot.
Yeah.
It takes a whole lot of yourself to put yourself out there like that and to deal with that shit.
Yeah. And I've made it known. I've made it known on Facebook, to me, and I'm gonna shout out a few people here. Justin Becker, Garrett Piku, all the guys on You Hunt, Carter, Ryan, they're growing a sport that is dying. I told you less than 6-8 months ago, we had a meeting with the U.S. Forest Service about opening these bear sanctuaries. And you wouldn't believe the number. Look at a younger generation, my generation, Nate's generation, Carter's generation.
Exactly.
Versus your generation. There's more hunters your age than there are in this younger generation.
Without a doubt.
It really is. But they're growing it. They're making that outreach. They're growing every day. And they're shedding a positive light on it. And because of that, you got 14-year-old boy, for instance. We were joking about it earlier. But because of what they're putting out, a year ago when they started putting it out, he said, that's kind of why he got into it.
That's why he's doing it, yeah.
And they're humble about it. All you guys are humble. You guys are humble. Coming from the outside looking at it, y'all are just people. But because of the light y'all shine, there's kids out here that call me and say they've seen this. I've taken a lot of kids this year, not based on what they've seen off mine, a couple of what they've seen on mine, but not because of what they've seen on mine, because they said, hey, I've seen this on Facebook, seen this on TikTok, seen this.
Or like you said, Justin Becker. I mean, they put out good
and they're
content.
Like, can you take me? And these are 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th graders, and they get in it and they love it.
Well, yeah.
And then they're asking me, oh, how do I get a dog? How do I get this? How do I do that? And I try. There's a lot of people to help, but I got a boy this year that wants me to help him train a dog. He wants to go with me, train a dog, get started. 13 years old, and he watched a Boars and Broads video on TikTok, and that's why he asked me to go hunt.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it really is, because like I said, why do you think I hunt?
Not for yourself. I mean,
it's like I had somebody take me hunting. And I know, we didn't have YouTube or TikTok or Facebook, nothing. I went hunting with someone, and I fell in love with it, just the same way. But and it was just by chance, because there was no hog hunters where we're at. Thank God that there was somebody there, so I could do this. This has turned into my life. Literally, my whole life has everything in it every day. It has to do with dogs and hogs. And every day, and it was because somebody took some time. And those guys put some of the very first hog hunting videos on YouTube. Yeah. And I was in them, and I was videoing some of them. And, I mean, like, you're talking 15, 18 years ago, whenever it was. Yeah. and now you've got this.
Yeah. And
Now it's the first thing you see. There's always hog dogging videos on. And I think it's cool because, like I said, I remember when you could go on YouTube and there was two.
There was no. I mean, you
There was
really had
nothing.
to dig for it. Now
There's nothing.
you put hogs on dogs or hog
Yes.
hunting with dogs in, and you could spend weeks, months, years, maybe even watching different
Exactly.
videos from people all over the country.
Well, you got exactly
good quality, informational quality.
and they'll help. Like, and most of them, I guess probably all of them are just like me.
Yeah.
We're just regular people.
Yeah.
Carter and Ryan, same way. They're just good old boys. We just have a good time.
I mean,
Except we're welcoming you into what we do as well. So don't be a smart ass. Don't do it.
right.
Just simple. You know what I'm saying? Don't be an asshole about it because it's not the way that you send your dog or your dog goes 3,000 yards and hunts. Nobody gives a shit. That's fine. The thing to do would be get in front of a camera, sit down with a guest and say, hey, I spent this much time and effort to come over here and to have a good time, and we're going to share it with y'all. We're not bragging. Nobody's bragging about that shit, Carter and Ryan put their dogs in the truck and literally drove from Georgia, hunted Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, Louisiana, all of them. Boom, 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 boom. Caught hogs. Every place.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can do that.
And that's because of what they do is kind of because of what I want to do. I've been down to Texas with Garrett. I've been in Georgia with Ryan and them, North Carolina. I'm gonna go down to Alabama with you. I want to hit, and I love to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I'll share another little secret about you guys. When I was down there in Downsville, and this goes to Carter and Ryan too, talking about barometric pressure.
Mm-hmm.
While we're here, Andy has hunted 55 years. We discussed that, and y'all were explaining it to me. Well, me and Carter went on a hunt. We got back. And we had a hog. Dogs out hunting. We had a hog come and run and stand at our feet in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs out hunting 300 yards. We're trying to call them to us. This hog ain't moving. And then it finally takes off running. Them dogs walk past this hog. Pressure's high.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about the pressure's high. And then I explained it to Andy. And he said, more thought about it, about a month later after I explained it to him, after I explained to him the way you guys had explained it. Mm-hmm. These are kids, that haven't hunted. I say kids, this is like, Carter, Ryan, y'all ain't hunted as long as Andy.
Mm-hmm.
In the business.
Yeah, exactly.
But I explained that about a month later. He looked at me and he said, you know what?
Makes a lot of sense.
He said, I've been thinking about it. He said, and over the years, he said, I ain't trying to brag. Andy's had some superstar bloodhounds in the past. And he said, them dogs will go out and they'll take a 12-hour-old track realistically and run it. And then he'll take them out, a couple months down the line. And the weather, the barometric pressure. Yeah, he thinks back to that day and he said, I'll take them out and I'll put them on a 3-hour-old track. And them dogs act like they have no idea what's going on.
Yep.
And he said, that makes sense. And Andy, it's hard to find open-minded hunters that are going to accept
especially that age.
At that age, he don't think he knows it all. You can still teach him, and to hear that from him, and to know that, I never would have known that had I stayed in North Carolina and only hunted with Andy. Yep. I wouldn't have known that if I wouldn't know. I watch Justin's videos. I listen to you guys. Listen to your podcast.
Justin's got a lot of good stuff. I didn't even really know him. Yeah. Like I said, until I don't know, just a couple months back, and I started watching some of the videos, and I watch them pretty much every day at the shop. I haven't played.
I mean, if it's
we don't play our videos, we play B&B, and we what is it? Not Normal Adventures.
Yep.
All right, Justin stuff, and then there's one or two other people that I'll play some of their stuff. They don't have a lot of videos out, but we just keep it playing in the store.
But for me, it's Carter and Ryan. And the man I mentioned earlier, Kevin, taught me how to. If you can do it in your state, I'm not advocating or dissing this.
Yeah, that's right.
Tying hogs. Mm-hmm. I got my transport license in Georgia now. I can't do that in North Carolina, but anywhere in Georgia, I can transport that hog. If I'm taking it to the bay pens or something.
Yeah. I wish we could do that.
Taught me how to tie a hog. Now they give me a hard time. They said, and then they told me the real secrets. If you can't tie a knot, tie a lot. But Justin's got a video on how to tie, on how to castrate, make a bar. If you can do it in your state.
Yep.
And seeing those are things I wouldn't have learned here. I told you today, that hog wasn't cut loose. You don't do that. In North Carolina, you can't do that. You can't catch hog, cut it loose.
Well, that's what I asked when we were walking in, because I don't remember exactly how I said it, because I think I asked, I said, are we sticking, tying, or cutting?
I said
Yeah, we got to
stick there.
stick
Ain't
it
no
here. Yeah.
tying cutting around here.
Well, see, well, the same way with us. We got to kill everything. Like it's got to be dispatched as soon as you catch it. You know.
And I mean, none of the law changes from here to there, and it's each state's. But I mean, follow the law. I mean, if you follow those laws,
easy. All you got to do is do it.
People can push against us as much as they want
They
to,
shut
but
you
as long as
completely down.
we're good apples to the law,
Yep.
they're not going to come at us hard. Now, if we get a handful of people that start breaking it, that's when
They'll shut it
they
down.
start looking at those people saying, "Oh, they shouldn't even be allowed to do this."
Well, see, that's what happened in Alabama. Like, I can't remember exactly what date it was.
2015.
I think it was around 15. Like, we could do whatever we wanted to do. No regulations at all. There were bait pens, but they were doing like catching ties, dumb shit. And it wasn't necessarily that's dumb shit. I don't know if I even need to put it like that, but to me, it's like, you can't have certain events, public events like that, and then have it where you show the hardest, worst side of it.
Yeah, it's like posting a hog squirting blood.
It doesn't make any sense.
No,
I
there's
know
no
it
informational.
happens. You know it happens.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. But why would you put that out there for everybody and invite the public in and say, hey, guys, come in here and give me $20 and watch this shit? And so from there, and then, Alabama, they passed it to where at first we couldn't transport. And then it was, we could still have them alive on the property, as long as it was on the same property that you caught it on. And then from that, it went to, okay, no live hog, period. Then it's like, now there's just this huge epidemic about the hogs. We need to kill all these hogs and do all this. Now all the counties are populated. So by doing all these laws and regulations, what did they help?
Yeah, and then,
before that, we didn't have every county. Every county was not populated. You couldn't find hogs.
Yeah.
And there's like, well, that's because y'all dog hunters, y'all were dumping them out. No, we didn't. We barred a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted that big hog to be right there.
And it eats well.
Yeah, and we did. We kept our hogs.
Yeah.
I had a hog pen. I had all my other pigs that I would keep and feed out. Then I had my hogs I trained with. And then, like I said, on our properties, we had big old boar hogs. That's what we did. We didn't transport hogs and dump them out to populate them. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
And you weren't catching them big boar hogs to show off. You're putting them.
No, I didn't want nobody to know about them.
But you want
nobody to know about them.
But that's good dog work.
Yeah, that's why I was worried about making dogs.
Yeah, you make dogs on big boar hogs.
Yeah,
or big hogs in general. If you can teach one to run up here on a 100-pound hog, it's going to run and run and run. But you want to test your catch dogs. You want to test how your dogs are baying and everything else. Put a 250-pound boar in front of them.
Exactly. And you see, like that one today, you watching videos, you'll see the difference in dogs that have been trained and have experience. And then you got dogs that don't have experience and that haven't been able to be trained properly. Like here, you can't have a live hog to train with and all that stuff. How do you train a dog? You just keep walking it in the woods? Yeah, and it'll work, but it's a long, enduring, grueling process to start a puppy, to really start it in the woods 100%, nothing in your buddy's pen over here or wherever at this place or none of that, but to really start it.
I mean, you've seen today,
it takes a while.
I can't take this dog. I can't take that 8-month-old pup I have out every day and catch hogs. We don't have.
That's right. But
we have a good quantity of hogs.
But
in that country, to find one every day.
Well, that's
or
what
to find one twice a week.
Take the dogs that we had today. They got shook. They got left out. I mean, like I said, we killed a big hog.
Yeah.
But the next one said, no, not today. Now, if they got on the second hog to begin with,
maybe they stop it.
They might would have stopped it at first. Then again, it still might not have. You don't never know.
I mean,
but an 8-month-old pup, no. That pup would probably never even been able to run that track hardly at all because it doesn't know. It hasn't had the opportunity to make any mistakes or to do anything. And now your pup that was with us today, has it been on pigs before?
It's seen.
Or
You've
is it
seen
seen-
that video. It's seen
Oh,
one show.
yeah, that's right.
Seen one show, and it's seen 2 dead hogs.
All right, and Andy's hadn't seen a hog.
Hasn't seen. I've seen the one
Like
show
I
with
said,
it.
but
Just one show.
they've got it. They've got what they need.
I mean, y'all have the footage.
Yeah, they was baiting the piss out of the hog. So it's if those dogs had the opportunity, like say Florida or say Texas or Louisiana, the way those guys can train.
Yeah.
Imagine what they'd be right now at 8 months old. That really their first hog hunt, and they go out there and they're baiting a 300+ pound hog in his face, spitting on him. Of course they're gonna learn some hard knocks.
Yeah, I mean, especially like that. But that's how you make and break a hog. A dog too.
Exactly.
They got to get
That's
that
what I
hard
said.
knock.
But if you could have got them started and went through the process and not have to worry about slipping around or doing anything like
Being
that,
able to have that 40-pound show to show
That's
them,
right.
or 30-pound show to show them when they're 4 or 5 months old.
That's right.
You see these
could
8-week-old
step 'em
puppies
up.
chasing this handheld size, shoulder round. We ain't got that.
that's what I'm saying. It's a big difference.
You've seen our shoats that we can get access to.
Yeah.
And what were they, 40 to 70 pounds? You ain't putting up.
Yeah, they're not little bitty at all. Especially for a puppy.
Yeah, and you watched them jump a 3-foot gate today.
They damn sure did. Somebody's jump slap out that gate, boy. He's gone. They really probably whooped our ass pretty good too, though. We got our ass whooped a lot this weekend.
But you
had
did.
a great time though.
Hey, 1 for 3, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, if we're playing baseball, that's a good percentage.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. But it's honestly, it was probably one of the best weekends I've ever had. I would definitely come back, do it again. Like I said, if we'd have treated a bear, that's probably the only way. And like I said, I know we ran the bear.
It did treat.
that's what I'm saying. But we just didn't we wasn't there when it did treat. Seeing the bear.
It's hard to keep a bear.
That we were running. It was a good bear.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad bear. And, it wasn't a 600-pound bear.
Yeah.
But
what we had.
all I was worried about was hearing that race, seeing how the process works, listening to the dog, seeing the good dog work. I don't have any intention of shooting the bear. I just want to see it. One of these boys right here, they could knock it out.
I sent Rodney.
Oh, yeah. If he comes out, knock him out.
Yeah. And, but that's the pressure thing's a big thing. And there's no such thing as too much pressure on a bear.
Mm-hmm.
You want 15 dogs under that tree because that bear's prerogative is to go up, when it goes up that tree, is to come down that tree and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, them 200-pound less bears, they want to come down. And we had 7 dogs out, and every dog at one point treed, but pretty much at every tree we had 4 dogs. They kept crossing hog tracks too. They kept peeling out in different ways. And these dogs will run hogs, they will run bear. But we turned out on a bear, and we had 4 dogs at every tree. They'd hold him in that tree about 15 minutes, and he'd climb down, and he'd go another 2 miles.
Yep.
And they'd tree him again. But pressure. We didn't have enough pressure on him.
11, 12 miles?
11.71.
Yeah, 11.71
And we pulled them off the bear.
Oh, yeah, we did do that.
Crossing the road.
Yeah, we went up there and pulled them off because they were, it was because we thought we had him right there.
Yeah.
Right before when he crossed and came back out, because he was headed toward the highway too.
Mm-hmm. And that lead dog, 13 years old.
That son gun was getting with it. All of them were. Every
But
dog.
you think
solid
12 miles on 13-year-old legs, I'm thinking dog years, that's that times 7.
That's a lot.
That's older than Andy.
That's pretty damn old.
I won't show. He ain't got the social media. He won't find it.
Well, maybe we'll have to get him hooked up on it. At least get him on Spotify or YouTube where he can listen to it, and that way when he gets on here, which he might be like a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to listen to himself.
He'll have that thing. He'll have his glasses on, holding his phone out about right here, and he'll say, "Jacob, get me over that Dixie Doggers podcast."
That's it. Get me over there on that thing. So, well, I tell you what, it's been a good weekend. We got a good segment here, I think, and we appreciate you having us.
Appreciate having you guys.
We really do. I'm glad Rodney came with us. I try to get him out and go with us whenever I get an opportunity to do something. He's my buddy. Got my son Nate with me. It's pretty hard to beat a situation like that,
Midnight Sally Cole.
We got some good dogs The dogs, they actually worked pretty good today. They made us look good. There ain't no doubt about that. Now the next time,
Don't
like
brag about
when you guys think say when you come to Alabama, we're probably just going to leave all them dogs at home and get some different ones because we done screwed all that up.
They only gonna look good once.
Yeah, we'll have to get Bob out. Well, we'll get Bob out, and that's something. But I'm telling you, you're gonna trip out on little Bob. Rodney can't stand that damn dog. He wants to choke him. But no, it's I look forward to you guys coming down, and then especially when maybe we can maybe Dixie Doggers will be able to hunt that Tulsa hunt.
Cooperate with you boys from North Carolina.
Maybe we can put something together in there. We show them how it's done.
Make a showing, yeah.
That's exactly right. Well, Jacob, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
We appreciate everybody that's out there listening. Thanks to all our viewers. Rodney said thank you. We appreciate all of y'all, man.
Shout out my mama.
Yes.
Oh, shout out Atlanta Matheson.
That's it.
She taught Joey over here how to handle me yesterday. So.
Yes, she did.
Because he ended up treating us to dinner. They called me and said, "Where were we eating at?" And I said, "I'm eating at my mom." They said, "We'll meet you there."
Yes, come on with it. So we had a good time though. But yeah, shout out to you, Mom, for real. Like I said, everybody that we met here has been phenomenal. It's definitely a place I could stay.
And people like you guys are the reason that I travel and I want to see the hog hunt world.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like when you come to where we're at, it's not gonna be this nice. The people are not gonna be this nice. And if you go to where I was born and raised at, you're probably gonna get mugged.
They can have
stuff like that.
I got mugged by a pack of wild hogs. I ain't worried about no people.
I hear you. All right, so we're gonna cut it off here. We appreciate y'all. Thank you, everybody, and till next time, we'll see you.